All right, let's just jump right in. We all know how powerful AI like ChatGPT can be, right? But we also know they have this little problem. They just make stuff up. So today, we are going to look at a research paper that comes at this from a completely different angle. It's a new kind of AI built on some ancient wisdom and some really clever math, and it makes one of the boldest claims I've ever seen. It is literally built in a way that makes it incapable of lying.
You see this quote? This is the super academic, fancy way of saying AI hallucination. You know what I'm talking about. It's when an AI gives you an answer that sounds perfect, it's grammatically correct, it's eloquent even, but it's just completely untethered from reality. It's a sentence with no anchor to the truth. And the paper we're digging into argues this isn't just some bug we can patch, it's something much, much deeper. So what is the deal here? Why do these huge, multi-billion-dollar models just hallucinate? Well, this paper suggests the problem is actually baked right into their core design. See, today's large language models are basically brilliant statistical guessers. They approximate meaning by just predicting what the next most probable word should be. They don't actually compute meaning. They don't get it. And that tiny difference is everything. It's the starting point for this whole A.U.R.A system.
Now, to solve this very modern, very high-tech problem, the author of this paper does something amazing. They don't look for more data or bigger computer chips. Instead, they look back. I mean, way, way back, to a theory of language that actually connects the physical world to the words we use every day.
Okay, so the core idea here is called phonosemantics. It's this wild theory that the actual sounds we make, the bus sound, the sis sound, are not random. They actually carry a little seed of meaning that's tied to the physical way our mouths and our throats produce them. You know, the word whoosh isn't random. It kind of sounds like the thing it's describing. This paper basically argues that this principle applies in a really structured and subtle way across an entire language. And check this out. This idea bridges 1,000 years of thinking. You've got Ibn Jini, a linguist from the 10th century who argued that the physics of making a sound, like where in your throat you make it, gives it a certain kind of meaning. Then fast forward to our time, and you have Dr. Mohammed Hassan Jabal, who proposed that every single root in the Arabic language has one central meaning, and all its other uses just branch off from it, like a tree. These two ideas are the pillars that A.U.R.A is built on. So you might be asking, how in the world do you turn 1,000 years of linguistic theory into a computer program? Well, the answer is you turn it into math. The A.U.R.A system translates these old-school linguistic ideas into a super precise architecture that doesn't guess, it calculates. And everything inside this system happens in a 12-dimensional space. Now, don't try to picture that. You'll break your brain. Just think of it like this. It's a universe with 12 different coordinates that define any location. Every single sound in the Arabic language gets its own unique spot, its own precise coordinate in this space. It's like a unique semantic fingerprint for every sound. So every sound is a vector, basically an arrow pointing to its specific spot in that 12-dimensional space. And here is the absolute key. To figure out the meaning of a word's root, A.U.R.A, doesn't just add these arrows together. No, it multiplies them. And this special kind of multiplication lets the sounds interact and actually modify each other, creating a brand new combined fingerprint for the root's meaning. Okay, let's make this real. Let's take the Arabic root for the concept to open. It's made of 3 sounds, fa, ta, ha. A.U.R.A takes the 12-dimensional vector for f, the vector for t, and the vector for ha, and it multiplies them all together piece by piece. The final vector that pops out isn't an approximation of to open. No, in this system, it is the mathematical definition of opening, built directly from its sounds. And it gets even more elegant. The Arabic language takes these roots and combines them with patterns. A pattern, say one that adds the idea of one who seeks to do the action, is also a 12-dimensional vector. So you can literally take the root vector for, say, to grow, multiply it by the pattern vector for seeker of, and what you get is the precise mathematical meaning of one who seeks to grow. It is a pure, clean, deterministic system. So all this math, all this linguistic theory, it's all building towards one incredible, mind-blowing claim. And if it's true, it could completely change how we think about building AI that has to deal with real structured information. This chart just lays it all out. A big language model is probabilistic. It's a guessing game. A.U.R.A is deterministic. It computes one right answer. An LLM is a black box, meaning we don't really know what's happening inside. A.U.R.A is a white box you can trace every single step of the calculation. And this all leads to the big one. An LLM can hallucinate. A.U.R.A, on the other hand, has this built-in verification gate that makes hallucination pretty much impossible.
And here it is. This is the simple, powerful secret sauce. It's called the reconstruction gate. After A.U.R.A does its thing and computes a word's meaning, it runs the whole process in reverse. It tries to rebuild the original word from its mathematical parts. And if that reconstruction isn't a perfect 100% match, the system just says, nope, it rejects the output. No guessing, no making things up. It actually knows what it doesn't know.
I love this quote from the paper because it just gets right to the heart of it all. It's not just a technical statement, it's a philosophical one. The whole point is to show that meaning isn't some kind of magic. It's something that can be calculated, it can be grounded in reality, and most importantly, it can actually be understood. So who is the person behind this totally radical idea? Well, the answer is just as remarkable as the system itself. Because let me tell you, this did not come out of a billion-dollar lab at Google or OpenAI. The author's name is SaïfAllah Mathlouthi. And you can see right there on the paper's title page, his affiliation is independent researcher. He's from a small town in Tunisia. No big university, no corporate backing, just one person tackling one of the biggest challenges in AI from the ground up. And then when you look up his background, the story gets even better. SaïfAllah Mathlouthi is not a career AI scientist. He's a logistics professional. He spent over a decade in inventory management and supply chains. So he's not solving language from inside some ivory tower linguistics department. He's coming at it from a world of systems and processes and pure logic. It's just an amazing story of intellectual passion. Someone who just decided to dive into thousand-year-old linguistics and modern math to build something totally new. And really, that's the final thought this leaves us with. Now look, A.U.R.A is limited right now. It only works on the structure of Arabic words. But the principle it represents is huge. It really makes you ask, what if the future of truthful, reliable AI isn't about throwing more and more data at the problem? What if the answer has been right in front of us the whole time, hidden in the deep, beautiful structure of human language itself?